Half-cock fire lock. Handle cartridge. Prime pan. Shut pan. Charge cartridge. Roll rammer. Ram cartridge. Return rammer. Shoulder fire lock. Poise fire lock. Full cock fire lock. Make ready. Fire! Cover. That was a light load. Sorry, guys.
You think
It was loud? Oh, that's not as loud as it normally is. Now, did you notice the smoke right away?
Yep.
That's one musket. Put hundreds, thousands of men on a battlefield. Gets very smoky very quickly. It's one of the reasons that they had bright colored uniforms. We often make fun of the British for wearing red coats. There's no camouflage. Well, they weren't looking to have camouflage. They fought out in open fields. But they were looking to have bright uniforms so that in the chaos of battle, as we were talking, the heat of battle, the armies are moving regiments constantly trying to get around the flanks of the enemy. And you could very quickly end up across the way from one of your own regiments. So they wore the bright colors so you could differentiate your own men from the enemy to try and prevent what we today call friendly fire. There was a reason for those bright uniforms. Now also you heard how loud it was. Again, put hundreds and thousands of muskets out on the field. It becomes a very loud environment. Hearing the commands of your officers is extremely difficult. Can you imagine having every one of those commands on a battlefield? It would be very difficult to have everybody firing at the same time. So there are shorter commands that are actually used on the battlefield, as well as usually stationed next to the officer, you would have either a drummer or a fifer, because the low sound, the bass of the drum can carry over the battlefield and be picked up by other drummers who continue to give the order. Each order has its own beat. Or a fife, which is a high pitch that also can carry over the noise of the musket and be heard by other fifers who would then pick up the call and send it along. So that's what they would have. The officers would give an order and then they would play it, which would get to the sergeants who would then do the actual shouting to the soldiers more often than not. Any questions?
I saw something, the two teeth rule.
Mm-hmm.
I think I carried through into the Civil War, did it not?
Yeah, I believe. Basically, if you had
War.
to rip open a
Right.
cartridge, you needed to have at least two teeth.
Opposing teeth.
Yeah. So that would go right up into the Civil War.
And then the other was a ready, aim, fire scenario. And I think it was something on the Revolution that it was actually, they didn't say aim, it was level.
Correct.
Kind of level the
That's
barrel.
why I said we were just having this discussion inside, which is pretty funny. Because take aim is being utilized during the Revolution. It's kind of just starting to be used because there now are some rifles around which you would take aim and try and use that opportunity to make your shot worth something. So there is some use of that, but in most cases, what I said, make ready is what they would say. And that is kind of point in the general direction of the enemy, because again, I can point at you, I'm going to hit this person over here. So, make ready, fire. You're absolutely correct. Any other questions?
The cartridge that you have replaces the old way of like pouring?
Yeah.